The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Happy May Day. It's May 1st, 2025, when we go back to the 4th of July, 1956 for a holiday doubleheader. In New York City, no less. It is the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. Don Newcomb and Don Drysdale get the call today for the Dodgers. Ruben Gomez goes to the first game for the Giants. I forget who's going for the second. The Dodgers have made a sham mockery out of things in the National League as of late. They are playing 700 ball, and since the calendar says July 4th, we are almost halfway through this 1956 season, and the Dodgers' lead is now 6.5 games. They have reversed their fortunes by about 10 games. They're about 4 back from Milwaukee when they got started, and they are just absolutely steamrolling teams right now. Not over yet, but if Milwaukee and Cincinnati are going to make some noise in the second half of the season, they need to get back on their horses and start winning, and so the Dodgers are in pretty good shape. The Giants, not much was expected from them this year coming into this. You still get Willie Mays for a couple hours today. That's pretty much why. Some lunch went down the wrong hole. That's always good. So it is a rainy day in New York, at least to start. In Manhattan, as the Dodgers and the Giants get ready for a holiday doubleheader. Next, as Retro Sports Network presents a holiday doubleheader in our 1956 Major League Replay. Today, from the Polo Grounds in Manhattan, it is the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. And today's doubleheader is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And it will indeed be Ruben Gomez on this rainy afternoon in New York to get the start here in Game 1. He is making his 15th start of the year, having a better than real-life record so far, 5-5 with a 3.96 ERA. He's 29 years old, El Divino Loco. That's probably not a great nickname to have. Fastball pitcher at 85 and a standard pitcher. Haven't had the Giants on that much. His last time out was June 30th, a 6-2 win over the Pirates. 6 innings, 110 pitches, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk and a strikeout. 91 innings for Gomez, 78 hits, 44 runs, 40 earned, 8 homers. He's walked 37 and struck out 24. The lineup he'll face in Game 1, Jim Gilliam leads off and left. Pee Wee Reese at short will bat second. Duke Snider, who is one of the main reasons the Dodgers are running away with us, is in center and will go third. Randy Jackson continues to clean up at third base. Gil Hodges at first for this one will bat fifth. Jackie Robinson is at second base and batting sixth. Carl Furillo in right field will bat seventh. Roy Campanella, down to number 8 in the lineup, will bat 8th, and Don Newcomb will go 9th. Gomez can give you 115 pitches. Defensively for the Giants, Bob Lennon, not Lemon, but Lennon, is a 4 and a 7 in left. Willie Mays is a 10 and a 10 in center. Don Mueller, a 5 and a 6 in right. Foss Castleman, easy for me to read, Ron, is a 7 at third. Eddie Brassoud is a 4 and a 4 at short. Darrell Spencer, a 5 and a 7 at second. Bill White, a 9 at first. Bill Sarney is a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. He is over from the Cardinals. And Ruben Gomez is an 8 on the mound in a 983 fielding percentage. So with all that, 83 degrees, it's a light rain. Jim Gilliam steps in at 276, 2 homers, and 26 RBI. He has 5 triples on the year. Gomez starts this one with a slow ground ball that Bill White will pick up and throw to Gomez. That might have been a bunt. Was that a bunt? I believe so. And so that is a bunt base hit for Jim Gilliam. So, the Dodgers come into this one. This is game 69 for them. No jokes. They are 48-20. For the Giants, this is game 68 for them, and they are 28-39. Throw to first for Gilliam. White's there, and Junior's back. Pee Wee Reese at 284, 4 homers and 38 RBI. Pee Wee into center field. Mays will make the catch. And one of these things about the drainage here at the Polo Grounds, especially important on a rainy day like this, is the further back you go, the more downhill you go, as it slopes dramatically from second base to the clubhouse. Duke Snider is having the year of his career. We didn't think he'd be the one having the Triple Crown year, but here we go. He leads the National League in batting average, third in doubles, he leads in home runs, and he leads in RBI. Hitting .358, 28 homers, and 69 RBI. He is literally averaging an RBI a game. Gilliam on first. Snider will throw down to Brassard, and Gilliam has his 11th steal. So the Braves, who will not be seeing this because they have a doubleheader of their own, but maybe filming it to watch later, keeping an eye on just how the Dodgers are doing this. So 1 strike count to Snider. That is ripped into right field past Spencer for a base hit. Gilliam's going to score with ease. Mueller throws it back in, and just like that, the Dodgers are up 1-0. It took 3 batters for them to get a run. Here's Randy Jackson hitting .260, 5 homers and 26 RBI. Barbara, I'm doing wonderful. How are you? Jackson draws the walk. So Gomez not feeling it right now. For Gil Hodges hitting .318, 14 homers, and 44 RBI. I'm glad you are well. And Gil is sitting on a 9-game hitting streak. Gil has a 10-game hitting streak as he punches that one past Mays and into the bullpens. Lennon should have had it. Snider scores. Randy Jackson around third. That's a long throw. Brassard throws to the plate, and they got him. So the defense taketh away, and the defense giveth to the Giants. So it goes 7-6-2 on the putout. 2 out for Jackie Robinson, hitting .295, 9 homers, and 23 RBI. So Lennon did not cut that off enough, as Hodges is in the second with a double. But the Giants took the chance of trying to cut down Jackson at the plate, and they did. Pitch to Robinson. Jackie swings. Ground ball to third. Castleman's got it. Throws over to White. And you can see a comment from yesterday. It's a great game, Ron. The 82 Jets were solid. They just couldn't beat the Dolphins. They watered down the field. I'm convinced of it in Miami. But yeah, that Jet team was pretty good. Anyway, all things New York. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Brooklyn. And after half an inning, it's the Dodgers 2, the Giants 0. How are the Phillies doing? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Don Newcomb is 30, making his 15th start. Hopefully that showed up for you, Rich. He is 9-4 with a 2.36 ERA. Fastball pitcher at 84 and a flyball plus pitcher. He is second in the National League in ERA, second in wins, and 8th in strikeouts. Last time out for Nuke was June 21st, so he's had a couple weeks to think about it. Yeah, 28-41, not so good. Newcomb threw a shutout of the Cardinals, 6-0, 9 innings, 126 pitches, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. This, by the way, is Newcomb's Cy Young and MVP year. Newcomb, 118 innings, 92 hits, 36 runs, 31 earned, 10 home runs allowed. He's walked 17 and struck out 64. Here's a giant lineup for you. Eddie Brasud leads off at short. Don Mueller in right will bat second. Willie Mays in center will go third. He's had a good year. Bill White cleans up at first. Bill Sarney is behind the plate. He'll bat fifth. Foss Castleman is at third. He'll bat sixth. Bob Lennon, his sisters are good singers, is in left field. He'll go seventh. Darrell Spencer is at second going eighth, and Ruben Gomez, who had a very shaky top of the inning, will bat ninth. Newcomb can give you 145 pitches, and that should be plenty. Defensively for Brooklyn, Jim Gilliam a 6 and a 6 in left, Duke Snyder an 8 and a 7 in center, Carl Furillo a 6 and a 10 in right. The infield, Randy Jackson is a 6 at third. Pee Wee Reese is an 8 and a 7 at short. I wonder if he takes game 2 off. Jackie Robinson is a 6 and an 8 at second. Gil Hodges a perfect 10 at first. Roy Campanella a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And Newcomb is an 8 on the mound with a .985 fielding percentage. Brasud is hitting .257, no homers, and 2 RBI. So Newcomb is going to have some work to do if he's going to win 27 games. But it's early. This is, again, Brooklyn's 69th game of the year. Pitch to Brasud is foul-tipped, and Campanella couldn't hang on to it. 2-2 the count. Nuke deals, and that is a ground ball to third. Jackson has it. Long throw across the way to Hodges. And that's how this one starts. By the way, new patch for this from April 30th. Not sure what's new, but it's all patched up and ready to go. Don Mueller at .236, 4 home runs and 19 RBI. That is a ground ball to Hodges, who flips to Newcomb, and Mueller is retired. Cat's already protesting. We're only 1 inning into a 2-hour stream. Willie Mays hitting .292, 19 homers, and 44 RBI. I imagine we'll see Mr. Mays at the All-Star game in a couple weeks. Pitch to Willie is a fly ball right center. Furillo will make the catch, and the Giants go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, it's the Dodgers 2, the Giants nothing. So Furillo, Campanella, and Newcomb to face Gomez in the second. Carl at .336, 8 home runs and 37 RBI. There is a ground ball to third. Castleman over to White. And Furillo's running it, but he is out. So 1 away for Roy Campanella, whose offense has slipped through most of the year. He was hitting what? Like 5th in the lineup, and he has slid all the way down to 8th. Hitting .217, 9 homers, so the power is still there, and 32 RBI. Gomez deals. That is up the middle. Spencer over to White for the out, 2 away. So 84 degrees on this 4th of July, a hot, sticky, rainy day in Manhattan. And a sellout crowd, not only because it's the holiday, but it's the Dodgers. Why don't I have the Giants uniforms? Anyway, Don Newcomb is hitting .214 with 3 RBI. And flies this one to right field. Mueller will make the grab, and that will retire the side. So Gomez gets the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After an inning and a half here, Brooklyn 2, New York zip. So White, Sarney, and Castleman to face Nuke here in the second. White is hitting .258, 9 home runs, and 35 RBI. Popped up. Hodges into foul territory. dodges the raindrops. I think he's got room. He does. 1 out. For Bill Sarni, Sarni, hitting .286, 3 home runs, over from the Cardinals, and has driven in 16. Struck him out. First for Newcomb. A 1-2 off-speed pitch swung on and missed. 2 out for Foss Castleman. Foss, absent on picture day, hitting .154, 5 homers and 18 RBI. There's a fly ball left field. That's down in the corner. Gilliam runs over and makes the catch to do it. So the Giants 6 up, 6 down after 2. Brooklyn 2, New York nothing. So top of the lineup to face Gomez, Gilliam, Reese, and Snyder. Jim singled, stole his 11th base, and scored. Ruben Gomez, opening 9, 30 pitches, 2 innings, 3 hits, and a walk. So, Barbara, have you bought any games yet? Pitch to Gilliam. There, another bunt down there. Ron, play in. White throws to Gomez or Spencer, and Gilliam is out. So Gilliam reached on a bunt single in the first, but not in the second or the third. Here's Pee Wee Reese. He's 0 for 1. Gomez doesn't want to run too much today. That is up the middle, past Spencer into center field, and Mays will pick it up. So Pee Wee brushes the water off his helmet. 1 out for Duke Snyder, who has singled. He now has an 18 gazillion game hitting streak. He's now also driven in 70 runs and scored 60. His OPS, which is a combination of batting average and slugging average, is at 1246. In real life, it was at 997. 1246 would be monumental season career defining number. That is in the right field. Mueller going back, and Snyder has hit the facing on the second deck. Miska Muska Masketeer. It is 4-0 Brooklyn as Snyder popped his 29th of the year down the line. And the Dodgers have taken control here of the first of 2. Always good to have the first of a doubleheader decided before the normal sign-on time of noon. Oh, goodness. Duke Snyder, you're going to be the MVP. If you threw it in it, you'd probably win the Cy Young. I would like to buy Action PC, Barb says, but I do not know how much room. It doesn't. These games are very lightweight. Very lightweight. I like buying on Steam, so I have to keep the games on my PC. The seasons you would buy separately, and Dave runs sales all the time. Here's Randy Jackson. Randy walked his first time up. Yeah, they do sales all the time, and you just start with 1 or 2 seasons. And then you'd be like me and have every one from 1901 on. Their Christmas sale is to die for. Absolutely. So, no, they're very lightweight games as far as how much they need to run and how much space you need. Jackson hits a ground ball to Brassud, throws to first for the out. Yeah, you don't need a ton of hard drive space. For sure. And the hockey game, by the way, I'm surprised you and Dave haven't talked about that. That really is enjoyable, and there are a lot of seasons. Gil Hodges has a double. He's 1 for 1. He drove home a run in the first. Dodgers have 2 here in the third, thanks to Duke Snyder. You're more than welcome. Duke Snyder's 2-run home run. Hodges rips this one into left. Lennon will pick it up. The thing now with the Giants is you need to get Gomez to have his 115 pitches. It's a doubleheader. You're only burning people in the fourth inning of game one. Yeah, I think you really would enjoy the hockey game. Jackie Robinson is 0 for 1. Gomez deals, and Robinson draws the walk. And yes, say a novena for the Montreal Canadiens. The Washington Capitals bounced them in 5, which is about what I thought would happen. But a good season nonetheless north of the border. Carl Furillo's 0 for 1. Hodges on second, Robinson on first, 2 out. How you doing, Andrew? Ruben Gomez is struggling. Pitch to Furillo is a fly ball to right. Back goes Mueller, and he will make the catch, and we are through the bottom of the third. 2 runs on the Snyder home run on 3 hits and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the third inning here at the Polo Grounds on this hot, sticky, rainy day in New York. It's Brooklyn 4, the Giants nothing. So 7, 8, and 9 to face Newcomb here in the third. Bob Lennon hitting 130 with 2 runs. Newcomb starts the frame, and he goes the opposite way to third. Jackson has it. Long throw to Hodges, and Lennon is retired. For Darrell Spencer, hitting 191. He does have 10 homers and 31 RBI. Nuke deals. Spencer strikes out. 2-2. Off-speed pitch. That's the second from Newcomb. And there's 2 quick out. Here's Ruben Gomez. Ruben hitting 103. 3 for 29 on the season. Newcomb deals. And Gomez hits a short slapper down to Pee Wee. And that's the first base runner of the game for the Giants. You got beat by a 100 hitter. So an infield hit for Ruben Gomez. And a sly smile on his face. Him and Gil Hodges. As Eddie Pursued comes to the plate 0 for 1. Newcomb, 42 pitches, 9 batters, 2 2/3. A hit and 2 strikeouts. And Brassou draws the walk. So the Giants trying to get something cooking here in the second. They get one more batter. Roger Ramjet. Isn't that a great picture? I think that's from the movie 42. Mueller 0 for 1. Mays on deck. And the reason why I say that, the scoreboard with the Chesterfield ad was from the Giants era. But I don't believe that the Giants ever had ads on the walls in the 50s. I know that Coke ad underneath the Giant lineup and the Bardol ad, I believe, were from when the Mets were there in 62 and 63. Pitch to Mueller is up the middle. Robinson snares it, throws to Hodges, and that will do. The Giants, however, will not get no hit in this one. They got a hit. No runs. They've left on 2, and Ruben Gomez goes back out for the 4th, trailing 4-0. So Campy, Newcomb, and Gilliam to face Gomez. Campy 0 for 1. Gomez, base hit, right center field. Mays cuts it off and will hold Campanella to a single. Oh, thank you, Roger. I may be wrong. Obviously, I'm not old enough to... was not around when the Giants were in New York. The baseball Giants, that is. So I may be completely wrong the last couple of years in New York. But it just seems to me that those ads were Mets ads. But the ad in the center field, where the Chesterfield is, was Rheingold for the Mets. My beer is the dry beer. Don Newcomb is 0 for 1. And I should pay attention, and White and Castleman play for the bunt. He does. Gomez has it. He'll go to second to get Campanella. So Newcomb reaches on the fielder's choice. 1 out for Jim Gilliam. Jr. 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and stole a base. Opening 18 for Gomez. 58 pitches. That's the good news. The bad news, 3 1/3. 4 runs, all earned. 7 hits. The home run to Duke Snyder, and he's walked 2. Not going to strike out that many. Newcomb leads off the bag. Fly ball right center. Willie makes the catch, and Newcomb goes back. And it's a long throw. I think it's, 480 to dead center? They had a habit when they built these places in New York to have mammoth center fields. They were all designed to fill in a block area. Although the area around Yankee Stadium when that was built in 1923 was pretty desolate, especially for New York. Pee Wee Reese 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. They clearly built around it. Pitch to Pee Wee is pass Purcell into left center field. Lennon will grab it. Newcomb is going to try for third. Lennon just tosses it back in. And on this 87-degree rainy day, Don Newcomb is doing much more running than he'd like. Here's Duke Snider. Duke is 2 for 2 today. He has a single, his 29th home run of the year, and now has driven in 72. How you doing, David? So runners on the corners as Duke Snider is just taking a wrecking ball to the play so far. And Pee Wee's gonna try and steal. They're gonna give it to him. They're gonna hold the runner at third. There was not a double steal, but you didn't want to throw it into center field and allow another run to score. So Newcomb, with a Cheshire Cat grin, is on third, and Pee Wee is rubbing the mud off the back of his jersey. Wow. And they're just going to tell Snyder to take first base. If Randy Jackson wants to beat me, go right ahead. But Snyder did something that I've never do, and especially in the fourth inning of a game, a free pass. Now all of you pass out watching this later. Randy Jackson is walked. He's 0 for 1. Base is loaded. Jackson swings right back up the box. Gomez throws to White, and I made the right decision. So the Dodgers will leave them loaded. No runs, 2 hits. They've left on 6. And after 3.5 here at the Polo Grounds, it's the Dodgers 4, the Giants nothing. So here are the standings as we come in to the 4th of July. The Dodgers have a 6.5 game lead on the Braves. Then the Cardinals, and then the Reds would have to pull a 78 Yankees to get back into it now, 14 back. Then Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. American League, Cleveland by a 1.5 games over Chicago, 2 over Boston, 3 over Detroit, and then maybe the surprise of this replay. The Yankees are 2 games under 500, followed by Baltimore, Washington, and Kansas City is still looking for Lenny Dawson. And how are the Dodgers doing it? Well, they lead the National League in hitting. They are second in ERA and have the best fielding team in the National League. Willie Mays is 0 for 1. Right field, Ferrillo. 1 out for Bill White, who's 0 for 1. That is into center. Snyder, 2 out. Now, if you were with us for the football game yesterday, Bill Sarney is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. You heard me talk about the frost advisory that we had in our area. It didn't get that cold in Burlington. The outlying areas did, but we did not. But it was 37 this morning here in town. How you doing, Parallel League? Pitch to Sarney is into center field. Snyder, second verse, same as the first, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Giants. We go to the 5th. Dodgers 4, Giants nothing. So Hodges, Robinson, and Ferrillo to face Gomez here in the 5th. Gill has singled and doubled and driven in a run. Popped up left side, Castleman. Does he have room? Yes. He reaches in the C's part, and Foss makes a good play. So 1 out for Jackie Robinson, who was walked and is 0 for 1. Struck him out first for Gomez, and 0-2 fastball that Robinson watched hit the outside corner. So 2 out for Ferrillo, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. 88 degrees. I'm full house here, and those who are in the elements, especially out there in the bleachers, are probably enjoying this little showery light rain that has hit the island of Manhattan. Pitch to Ferrillo. Carl swings, ground ball to Spencer. Darrell will throw to White, and that brings us to the commercial. It's about 45 degrees in town. Halfway home, game 1. Dodgers 4, Giants nothing. On this day in history, July 4th, 56 was the first test of the U-2. Was that? And then they played a bittersweet symphony afterwards. Was that it right, Patterson? You joined us late. Here's how we got here. Brooklyn 4-0 in the first of a doubleheader today. Duke Snyder with an RBI single to score. Jim Gilliam in the first made it 1-0 Dodgers. And then Gil Hodges doubled home Snyder to make it 2-0. And Gil has a 10-game hitting streak. In the third, Duke Snyder hit his 29th of the year to make it 4-0. A 2-run shot. They threatened in the fourth but did not score. Excuse me. Oh, on Germany. Okay, Triple G, how are you? No, it's not 1982 football. That was yesterday. Don Newcomb, a 1-hitter and 1 walk through 4. He is fan 2. Ruben Gomez, 5 innings, 8 hits. All 4 runs are earned. The home run to Snyder. 3 walks and a strikeout. Castleman is 0 for 1. How you doing, Triple G? So that flight was in Germany. Pitch to Castleman. That is a ground ball to Robinson. Jackie still has range. Throws to first. 1 out. So Robinson had to go all the way behind the bag to make the play. Here's Bob Lennon. Bob is 0 for 1. Got him. That's 3 for Newcomb. And 0-2 fastball tipped right in the glove of Roy Campanella. 2 out for Darrell Spencer, who is 0 for 1. Another day, another 50 cents. Thank you, Tennessee Ernie Ford. No, well, I didn't expect the Giants to be on all that much. They weren't all that good. We did Washington and the Yankees for the Memorial Day doubleheader. Pitch to Spencer. Darrell in the shallow right center. Snyder moves over, makes the catch, and that will do. Giants go quietly in the 5th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 5, 4-0 Brooklyn. Campanella, Newcomb, and Gilliam to face Gomez here in the 6th. Roy 1 for 2 with a single. That is a hard shot to left. Back goes Lennon, and that ball is gone. So Campanella puts one in the seats out there in the first deck to make it 5-0 Brooklyn, or just down the line, 287 feet for his 10th of the year. So Campy having himself a good day despite being slid down to 8th in the order. 5-0 Brooklyn. Here's Don Newcomb. He's 0 for 2. Gomez deals. And that is line right back to Ruben, who will make the catch. 1 out. So 27 batters deep, 92 pitches, 5 in the third, 9 hits. The home runs from Snyder and Campanella. He has walked 3 and struck out 1. Gilliam 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, and stolen his 11th base. That is ripped into right field for a base hit. And Mueller actually struggles with it. Gilliam digging for 2, and with his speed, he gets his 3rd double of the year. Hard to believe on the 4th of July that Gilliam, who is a regular in the lineup, has more triples. His 5 to only 3 doubles. Pee Wee Reese is 2 for 3. Pee Wee has singled twice, scored, and stolen a base. There is a ground ball to third. Castleman has it. Snap throw to White. And Pee Wee is out on the bang-banger. So 2 out for Duke Snyder, who was 2 for 2. He has singled. He has homered. I intentionally walked him, and if you're a regular of this channel, you know that that never happens. He now has 29 homers and has driven in 72. 5-0 Dodgers. 2 out, top the 6th. Pitch to Snyder. Struck him out. So Gomez, is going to get pinch hit for. He did go 6, which is better than what I thought it was going to be. After 5.5, the Dodgers get the home run from Campanella on 2 hits and no errors, and the Dodgers lead it 5-0. So Gomez, let's see, who can hit a nookie? And it's going to be Red Schoendienst. Over from the Cardinals. 2 for 9 on a year. Does have 1 pinch hit appearance. It's kind of like, seeing Johnny Unitas in a San Diego Charger uniform. You just associate red with the Cardinals. And he rips this one over Hodges down in the corner. So that was the right move. Schoendienst is going to have extra bases as soon as Ferrillo gets there. And maybe, Schoendienst turns on the afterburners and has his first double as a Giant. Only the 2nd hit for the Giants on this first game. It is hot, sticky, nasty here in Manhattan. 89 degrees. There's not a breath of wind out there. And it's just a light rain. And the Giants are getting pounded 5-0. Here's Brassard. Eddie is 0 for 1 with a walk. Newcomb, 18 batters deep, 77 pitches, 5+ innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Pitch to Eddie is a ground ball to Nuke, first base side, throws to Hodges for the out. And Schoendienst will hold right there. 1 away from Mueller, who is 0 for 2. Wearing wool uniforms. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That rain, I'm sure, feels good. Don is 0 for 2. That is ripped into center field in front of Snyder for a base hit. Schoendienst around third. And Rigney will hold him. So runners on the corners for Willie Mays, who is 0 for 2. Schoendienst wasn't real happy he was held, but he also got a chance of a 3-run homer right here. Newcomb deals. Struck him out. And now Schoendienst just shaking his head. Willie looked at an 0-2 fastball from Newcomb right down Broadway. 2 out for Bill White, who's 0 for 2. How you doing? Doubleheaders, I tend to go at 11:30. So it can be off by about 1:30. Pitch to White. There is a fly ball left field. And Schoendienst is beside, maybe not. Back goes Gilliam. Yep, Schoendienst is beside himself because the Giants got nothing out of that. They got 2 hits, and that's it. They've left on 4. Through 6 in game 1, Brooklyn 5, Giants nothing. So who's going in game 2? Jim Hearn gets a start in game 2. Hoyt Wilhelm. Gets the call. Old Tilt is 34. He's a knuckleball pitcher. 1-6. But don't let that record fool you. He's making his 36th appearance. ERA of 3.27. His last appearance was 2 days ago against these Dodgers, inning in 2/3 and a 4-3 loss. The last win he pitched in was against the Cubs on June 20th. 44 pitches on the second, 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Wilhelm, 41 1/3, 45 hits, 20 runs, 15 earned. He hasn't given up a home run yet. We just jinxed him. 21 walks and 28 strikeouts. When the knuckler works, he's a ground ball plus pitcher. Jackson, Hodges, and Robinson to face him here in the 7th. And this should be a 2-inning stint for Hoyt. Randy is 0 for 2 and has drawn a walk. Got him. So Wilhelm knuckled one in there. No, a fastball. Okay. Swung on and missed. 1 out for Hodges. Gill is 2 for 3 on game 1. He has singled, doubled, and driven in a run. And we'll wait to get some clarification here. Oh, so Hodges swings and misses. However, they're going to call Sarney for catcher interference. So Sarney and Bill Rigney have a few choice words to say, and Hodges walks down to first. Wilhelm and Sarney are beside themselves. Here's Jackie Robinson. Jackie 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. In the movie 61, Wilhelm's portrayal was quite funny. I'm sure Old Tilt is what the computer says his nickname is. Pitch to Robinson. Knuckles that one in there at 64 for a walk. And that just kind of begs the question, will you still need me? And will you still feed me if I throw 64? So Hodges on second, Robinson on first. Here's Ferrillo. Carl is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Struck him out. Chase a 1-2 knuckleball. 2 out for Campanella, who homered in his last at-bat. Roy is 2 for 3 in game 1. Hit his 10th of the year. And drove home his 33rd run. Wilhelm delivers. And that's a fly ball to right. Back goes Mueller, who will make the catch, and that will do. Stretch time, 5-0 Dodgers. Cisco and Ebert in the chat tell me if you haven't seen 61, it's good, but not great. Bill Sarney is 0 for 2. Good luck getting a call now after that tirade, after the catcher's interference. He has struck out once. Newcomb starts the 7th. Fly ball left center. Gilliam moving over, makes the catch, 1 out. For Foss Castleman, Castleman is 0 for 2. That is hard hit. Back goes Gilliam for the 2 out. Brent, is this your stadium? Bob Lennon is 0 for 2 as Newcomb just continues to breeze through the Giant lineup. And Bob will rip a single over Robinson's head into right field. In fact, all the way to the wall. Ferrillo picks it up, and Lennon has a double. So only the 4th hit of the ball game. Here is Darrell Spencer. Darrell is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Newcomb deals, and that is a ground ball. Robinson gets in front of it, makes a fantastic diving stop, throws to Hodges for the out. So after 7 full, Jackie with his first great play at second of the year, not his career. And we go to the 8th, 5-0 Brooklyn. It is a great looking park, isn't it? So Newcomb will bat. Don is 0 for 3, I'd imagine. Gilliam and Reese to follow. 5 runs. Hey, you made it, Jeremiah. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Dodgers in the first of 2. They have left on 9 so far. The Giants, no runs, 4 hits, and error, and they have left on 5. Pitch to Newcomb. Struck him out. That's 3 for Wilhelm. Don't forget, Hoyt had a strikeout and the runner reached at the same time. Jim Gilliam, 2 for 4. He has singled, doubled, scored, and stolen a base. Fly ball, right center field. Miller makes the catch, 2 out. For Pee Wee Reese, who is 2 for 4, he has singled twice, stolen a base, and scored. Nope, ground ball to first. Here's White. And Bill with a great play. Picked it up, scooped it up, ran to the bag himself for the out. So, the Dodgers go in order in the top of the 8th after 7.5. It's Brooklyn 5, New York 0. Parallel League took a tour of old Yankee Stadium, and they pointed out where the Polo Grounds was located. Yeah, it really is close. There's some great aerial shots of both places. Before they put that scoreboard up in center field, where the Chesterfield ad is, you could see Yankee Stadium from behind home plate. That's how close they are. Hoyt Wilhelm will not bat. He went 2 innings and threw 33 pitches. And Jackie Brandt will come in. Jackie over from the Cardinals as well. Who did St. Louis get back? Brandt, as a pinch hitter, hasn't had a pinch hit appearance, hitting .348, 5 homers, and 12 RBI. Fly ball, left field, back goes Gilliam, way back there. No shutout for Nuke, as Brandt hits a pinch hit home run, his 6th of the year. Yeah, it literally is right across the Harlem River. So Brandt puts the Giants on the board, making it a 5-1 game. Now, the Yankees used to play at the Polo Grounds. And when they built their own palace, they wanted to make sure that the Stoneham family or the ownership of the Giants knew exactly where the New York Yankees were at all times. Brush, right? Before Stoneham. Eddie Pursued is 0 for 2. He's also drawn a walk. 27 batters for the Dodgers. 111 pitches. 7 innings, 5 hits. The home run a second to go to Brandt. A walk and 4 strikeouts. That is true. Hoyt Wilhelm hit a home run in his first major league at bat and never hit another one. That is a ground ball past Robinson into right field. So the Giants are starting to time Newcomb rather well. 5-1, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. And here's Don Mueller, who's 1 for 3 with a single. Willie Mays on deck. Newcomb deals, and that is ripped past Robinson into right field. So first and second, nobody out, and look who's up, Willie Mays. Willie is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Newcomb starting to tire just a bit here. The shutout is gone. And now Willie can make this a 1-run game. Pitch to Mays is a fly ball left field. Back goes Gilliam, and it is a 1-run game as Willie Mays is homered into the upper deck. His 20th of the year, and the Polo Grounds come alive. He's now driven in 47 on the season. And Newcomb has lost the script. Say hey indeed. And there is still nobody out here in the 8th. Here is Bill White. He is 0 for 3. So Newcomb, who was cruising along through the first 7, has hit a roadblock here in the 8th. Pitch to White. Fly ball right field. Furillo going back. Makes the catch, 1 out. For Bill Sarney, who is 0 for 3. So Newcomb taking some deep gulps now on the mound. Delivers, and that is hit right to Reese. Pee-wee makes a leaping catch, 2 out. Jeremiah thought he sees someone flashing lights and left. That was in the clubhouse in center. But you're right. Here's Foss Castleman, who's 0 for 3. I believe it was Rico Carty that was on a plane, and it was in turbulence from a storm. Rico commented flying his plane. Who's flying his plane? Hoyt Wilhelm? Here's Castleman. He's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right. Back goes Furillo. That's well hit, and we're tied up. My word, another home run from Foss Castleman, his 6th of the year, and it's 5-5. Miska Muska Mouseketeer. They're going to send hitting coach Scotty Howard out there. There are those lights again. They swear it's just the tower at LaGuardia. Why they need to do that in New York and Manhattan as opposed to Brooklyn or Queens is beyond me. But 2 outs for Bob Lennon, who was 1 for 3. Newcomb. Wow. Here's the pitch. Got him. So here we go. We go to the 9th. But the Dodgers have coughed up a hairball. 5 runs on 3 home runs. How about that? You go to the 9th. Brooklyn 5, New York 5. Brandt can play what? I never looked. He is a left fielder. So a double switch. Brandt, a 7 and a 7 in left. Stays in the game in the 9 hole. And Grissom, the Giants' fireman ace, will come in. He's 38, making his 24th appearance, 1 and 3, with a 3.27 ERA. He has 5 saves in 9 chances. He last pitched on the 1st, a 4-3 loss to the Pirates, in which he took the loss. 2 1/3, 33 pitches, 3 hits, a run it was earned, and he struck out 2. Yeah, this has been a good one, hasn't it? 33 innings for Grissom, 43 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned, 5 walks, and 20 strikeouts. So here's Duke Snider. He is 2 for 3. He has singled, homered, driven in 3, scored twice, intentionally walked, and struck out. People like when I call football. It's not my favorite sport to call, but people do like it. Pitch to Snider, struck him out. So Grissom got him on a 6-pitch strikeout. Snider chased it. Here's Randy Jackson. Randy 0 for 3, a walk and a strikeout. Grissom deals, and Jackson hits a base hit pass pursuit in left field. So the Dodgers have the go-ahead run on. 1 out for Gil Hodges. Gil is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, and drove home his 45th run. Jackson on first. Hodges, slow chopper to the mound. Grissom, first base side. Spencer for 1, White for 2. So a 1-4-3 double play ends the inning. The Dodgers get no runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Brooklyn 5, New York 5. So Spencer, Brandt, and Brassard here in the ninth. 5 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. They've left on 9. The Giants, 5 runs, 9 hits, an error, and they have left on 5. Newcomb is still out there. And the Giants have got to be licking their chops. Pitch to Spencer, who's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right. Furillo will make the catch. 1 out. So the Giants need 1 to win. Here's Jackie Brandt. He hit the pinch hit home run in his first pinch hit appearance as a member of the Giants in the 8th. He now has 6 on the year with New York. That's a base hit right center field. Snyder will cut it off, and the winning run is on. For Eddie Brassard, who has a game-winning RBI already on the year. Newcomb, 36 batters, 136 pitches, 8 1/3, 10 hits. He allowed 3 home runs in the 8th. Brandt, Mays, and Castleman with a tying home run. Eddie's not hitting one here. To Pee Wee Reese at short, makes the catch, 2 out. So we're 1 away from some Gardner ball. Don Mueller, 2 for 4 in this one. He has singled twice and scored. Newcomb throws back to first, and Brandt wasn't going anywhere. Up the middle for a base hit. So Brandt, the winning run, is going to go to third. Snyder throws it in, and the Giants have the winning run 90 feet away. Mueller is third hit. And now look who's coming up. It's one Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. He hit a 3-run homer in the 8th. He now has 20 on the season and has driven in 47. So Brandt, the only runner that matters right now, is at third. Mueller has been handed the Adirondack chair and sits on first base. That's true. When Mario Mendoza went deep, Lorenzo never forgave me for that, Todd. That was one of the great moments in channel history. Here we go. Newcomb against Mays. 5-5, 2 out, bottom of the ninth. Pitch to Willie. Fly ball to right. Furillo got there. And we're playing extra. Free baseball on a doubleheader day. How about that? No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 10th. Grissom gets another inning. It'll be Robinson, Furillo, and Campanella. Jackie is 0 for 2. He has walked twice and struck out once. Ground ball to third. Castleman over to White. 1 out. For Furillo, who is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. That is a slow chopper down to White. Bill will make the play himself, trying to beat Furillo to the bag, and Carl beat it out. And so Gino Simoli will be the pinch runner. So Furillo will go take a quick shower before game 2. And here is Campanella. Roy homered in this one. He is 2 for 4. Now has 10 on the year and driven in 33. Grissom deals, and that is a ground ball back to Marv. Spencer for 1, White for 2, and that's a double play. We've played 9.5. Dodgers get a runner on, but can't do anything with it. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 10th, 5-5. Shower at Chesterfield. Oh, yes. So White, Sarney, and Castleman, the unlikely hero, will bat here in the 10th. Bill is 0 for 4. And Newcomb is still on the mound. The computer's running the Dodgers. White, right center. Snyder. 1 out for Bill Sarney, who is 0 for 4 with a K. No, it'd be Reingold here, right? Yeah, the Giants had Reingold. The drive area. The Dodgers had Schaefer, and the Yankees had Ballantyne. Allergies? No, I had popcorn for lunch. And that tends to get stuck. Pitch to Sarney. Right center field. Snyder chases it. Makes a sliding catch on the wet grass for the 2nd out. It is now 90 degrees. It is uncomfortably hot here in New York. Castleman homered in the 8th to make it a 5-5 game. He's the reason we're still here. One price, you saw both games. Todd, amazingly enough, 1956 was the last year that everyone did holiday doubleheaders. And the reason being, with the advent of night games and the importance of getting people in the gate, you didn't need it anymore. You'd get those back. And, for what the players were doing, it just tears through a pitching staff. Pitch to Castleman. Foss into right field. Somoli, who's a 2 and a 4 out there, will make the catch. And we go to the 11th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Grissom out there for another inning. He's already thrown 2. It is the Dodgers 5, the Giants 5. Yeah, popcorn will do that. So I can't imagine Newcomb, who's thrown 160 pitches through 10. Yep, that's one hold that won't go down and won't go. Yeah, exactly. So Newcomb 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and Sandy Amoros will pinch hit. Amoros 063 as a pinch hitter with an RBI, and I believe that was that walk-off walk that we had. Overall, 261, 6 homers, and 24 RBI. Grissom starts the 11th. A ground ball past Spencer into right field. So Amoros leads off the 11th with a single. Grissom's spot would lead off the 11th with Spencer and Brandt to follow. Junior Gilliam 2 for 5. A single, a double, a run scored, and a stolen base. Of course, Todd B says, watching those Indians doubleheaders back in the day, they should have let you in for half price. Well, George Hendrick left a note for that, but he was just too lazy to pass it along. Pitch to Gilliam is a ground ball past Spencer for a base hit. So first and second for the Dodgers. Gilliam has 3 hits already on the day. For Pee Wee Reese, Pee Wee is 2 for 5. He has singled twice, stolen a base, and scored. Late 70s and early 80s, yep. Bonus baseball in Game 1 and a scheduled doubleheader. But if we go past 1 and we're still in Game 1, that will be that. Pitch to Pee Wee. He walked him, so Grissom has loaded the bases. Newcomb can still win this, which is hard to believe. Oh, and there's no place to put Duke Snyder. Duke Snyder is 2 for 4. He has been intentionally walked, singled, and slammed a 3-run homer. Or 2-run homer. He has scored twice and struck out twice. No place to put him. They might get 2 out of this. How about that? Spencer waits for the bounce. Pursued for 1. No, Snyder's going to reach on the fielder's choice, and the Dodgers go up 6-5. So Snyder just put enough English on that swing to get home the run. So Gilliam on third, Snyder on first for Randy Jackson, who is 1 for 4. He has walked and struck out. Hendrick never played both games of a doubleheader. Today, they should have paid Todd to watch. Yeah, in that era, absolutely. Pitch to Jackson. And line drive foul. First base side. Somebody eating an ice cream made that catch. And the count is 2-2. Dodgers 6, Giants 5, top of the 11th. Jackson, ground ball to third. Castleman. See if they can turn it. Spencer for 1. Nope. Gilliam is going to score. It's 7-5. The throw to first was late, and Jackson beat it out. Here's Gil Hodges. Gil 2 for 4. He is single, double, driven in a run. The interns crunching the numbers for game 2. Pitch to Hodges. Fly ball left center. Back goes Mays. Willie has room and makes a sliding catch on the grass. However, the Dodgers, 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. 4:09, here's Clem Labine coming in. We go to the bottom of the 11th. It is Brooklyn 7, New York 5. So Clem 3-1 with a 2.89 ERA. He has converted 14 of 17 save attempts. He's 30 years old. Fastball at 87 and a standard pitcher. He pitched against the Giants 3 innings in a 4-3 win. The 9-out save, 44 pitches and 2 hits. 43 2/3 for Clem. 38 hits, 14 runs, all earned. 4 homers, 11 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Pinch hitter for the Giants is going to be the catcher, Wes Westrom. Wes, as a pinch hitter, hitting .333. Overall, 191, a home run, and 5 RBI. 2 to tie, 3 to win for the New York. Westrom to short. Pee Wee, great play. Backhanded throw to Hodges, 1 out. So Pee Wee makes his second great play of the day. Here's Darryl Spencer. Darryl 0 for 4 with the K. So imagine that. Don Newcomb coughed up that hair ball in the 8th, and he's 2 outs away from a win. Pitch to Spencer. Fly ball right field. Somoli, 2 out. So last chance saloon here in game 1 for Jackie Brandt. Jackie has homered in the 8th. Pinch hit home run, and then his single. He's 2 for 2. Labine deals. There's a ground ball to Pee Wee Reese. Another great play, and the Dodgers will win game 1 by the score of 7-5. So 3 hours and 10 fake minutes. The Dodgers moved to 49-20. 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors. They left on 10. The Giants moved to 28-40. 5 runs, 11 hits, and an error, and they left on 7. Duke Snider with his 4 RBI, your digitalized player of the game. Don Newcomb, 10 innings to pick up his 10th win. 11 hits, 5 runs. All of those came in the 8th with the 3 home runs. Castleman, Brandt, and Mays. A walk and 5 strikeouts. And Labine came in there to pick up his 15th save. Ruben Gomez didn't pitch all that well. 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned. 2 homers. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Hoyt Wilhelm, 2 shutdown innings, a walk and 3 strikeouts. And Grissom, probably 1 inning too much. 3 innings, 4 hits in the loss. He goes to 1-4. 2 runs, both earned, a walk and a strikeout. So game 2, how you doing, Mike in the truck? So the Dodgers lead at the moment is 7. And you're about to see John Drysdale. So the rain continues. It rained all the way through game 1. And as Jim Hearn takes his warm-up tosses, I'm going to take a drink. Ugh. So the Dodgers win game 1, 7-5 in 11 innings. Jim Hearn gets a start in game 2. He is 35, throws a fastball maybe at 82. 3-7 for the Giants with a 4.45 ERA, and is making his 14th start of the replay. He last pitched against the Pirates, took the loss in a 6-4 loss on June 29th, so plenty of rest. 6 innings, 107 pitches, 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned. That's a Christmas tree. 0 home, walking 1 and striking out 4. 87 innings for Jim, 110 hits, 58 runs, 43 earned, 14 homers, 36 walks, and 49 strikeouts. The Dodgers, with the exception of Campanella, it's pretty much the same lineup as game 1. Jim Gilliam in left will lead off. Pee Wee Reese at short will bat second. Duke Snider in center goes third. Randy Jackson at third cleans up. Gil Hodges at first will bat fifth. Jackie Robinson, another game at second, will go sixth. Carl Furillo in right will bat seventh. He enjoyed a shower in Chesterfield. Rube Walker behind the plate goes eighth. And young Don Drysdale is on the mound batting ninth. Hearn can give you 125 pitches. Defensively for the Giants in game 2, Bob Lennon is a 4-7 in left. Willie Mays is a 10-10 in center. Don Mueller a 5-6 in right. In fact, it is the exact same lineup except for Jim Hearn. Foss Castleman is a 7 at third. Eddie Brasud a 4-4 at short. Darrell Spencer a 5-7 at second. Bill White a 9 at first. Bill Sarney catching both ends. He's a 5-5, and Hearn is an 8 with a .906 fielding percentage. You get the sense that Bill Rigney just kind of fell asleep in the dugout between games. The Braves must be stumbling a bit. The Dodgers are red hot. Paul, 49-20. They're playing 7-10 ball. The Braves were playing 800 ball. They've come back down to earth a bit. But the Dodgers found the overdrive and just kind of have run away with it. They now lead by a metric ton. Jim Gilliam, the trained monkeys have done their job, hitting .281, 2 homers, and 26 RBI. How cold did it get in Saranac Lake overnight? We had 37 this morning. Pitch to Gilliam starts game 2 in the rain. Fly ball to right. Mueller will turn and watch it go. So Gilliam, channeling in his inner Ricky Henderson, leads off the ball game with a home run. His third of the year, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead before you can get your cold Rheingold. Around 30. So you did have the frost. We did not. So the Dodgers got off to the quick start in game 1, too. If they win this one, they are the major's first 50-win team. Pee Wee Reese at .286, 4 homers, and 38 RBI. Line draw, a ground ball to third. Castleman to White. 1 out. No, it's an error. That's an error, and Pee Wee's going to reach. White has to go get it. So Castleman makes his 6th error of the year. A bad throw, and it went over his head, but it's a big ballpark, so Keith Olbermann's mom is safe. And Reese goes to second for Duke Snider, who is just on fire at the moment, hitting .359, 29 homers, and has driven in 73 in the Dodgers' first 69 games. Yeah, I'm sure Gus didn't enjoy the being in the cold. Why? I think that they knew that Willie was going to retire, and Willie had a much better time in New York than he ever did in San Francisco. And truth be told, he probably should have retired after the 72 season. All right, Barb, enjoy the rest of your day. Pitch to Snyder. Reese on second. That is past Spencer into right field. Mueller will pick it up. Reese will hold. So runners on the corner, still nobody out. Oh, great. For Randy Jackson, hitting .258, 5 homers, and 27 RBI. So, Todd, that would be the itch. I'm sure someone's going to have the answer, but that would be the educated guess. Willie was revered in New York, and I'm not sure that the San Francisco crowd felt the same way. They didn't hate him by any stretch, but I don't think Willie loved San Francisco as much as he did New York. Pitch to Randy Jackson. There is a ground ball to Castleman, and Foss will try to get 2 for the price of 1. Spencer for 1, and again, they're not turning it. Jackson's going to reach. I think in time, Willie and San Francisco grew to love each other. Gil Hodges at .320, 14 homers, and 45 RBI. Some of that had to do with his managers in New York letting him do a little more open than they were in San Francisco. All right, Barb, enjoy the rest of your day. Gil is a 10-game hitting streak, hitting .320, 14 home runs, and 45 RBI. Pitch to Hodges. There is a ground ball, and White will grab it. Pursued for 1, back to White, and they turn a 3-6-3 double play. Bing, bang, boom. So that'll do it. The Dodgers, just like Game 1, 2 runs in the first on 2 hits and an error. And after half an inning, it's Brooklyn 2, New York 0. And here is Dandy Don Drysdale, the Big D, 20 years old. Fastball pitcher at 86 and a ground ball pitcher. Somewhere on the internet is Branch Ricky's scouting report on young Don after Ricky became the GM in Pittsburgh. And what would it take to sign him? Turns out Drysdale from Southern California would end up in Southern California when the Dodgers made the move west. He is 6-1 on the replay with a 2.20 ERA, making his 8th start. Yeah, Aaron left his last year too. He last pitched on the 29th against the Phillies. A 4-2 win. 8 innings, 118 pitches. The 1 run was a solo homer. He allowed 3 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Overall, 57 1/3 for Don. 42 hits, 17 runs, 14 earned. He allowed 4 home runs, walked 20, and struck out 29. The Giant lineup looks pretty familiar. Eddie Pursuit leads off at short. Don Mueller in right will bat second. Willie Mays in center goes third. Bill White cleans up at first. Bill Sarney in behind the plate bats fifth. Bob Lennon, the unknown Lennon sister, in left will go sixth. Foss Castleman at third, batting seventh. Darrell Spencer at second goes eighth, and Jim Hearn will bat ninth. Drysdale can give you 125 pitches. Brooklyn's defense is pretty much the same except for Rube Walker. He's a 4 and a 5 behind the plate. Gilliam, Snyder, and Ferrillo. Jackson, Reese, Robinson, and Hodges. Pursued at 257. 2 triples and 2 RBI. May State's probably been better if he hadn't done the time in the military early in his career. I'm not sure he had much of a choice in that, Paul, did he? But yeah, he clearly loved New York. Pitch to Pursued is a chopper down to first. Hodges has it. Makes a web gem. Gets up and runs to the bag himself, 1 out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got drafted. Which he missed 52 and part of 53. He was on deck when Bobby Thompson hit the home run in the 51 playoff. Mueller at 245, 4 homers and 19 RBI. There is a ground ball to Robinson. Jackie throws to first, 2 out. Oh, absolutely. And that was the other thing. When they moved out to Candlestick, the wind blew in, and before the 49ers moved for the 71 season to Candlestick Point, that was all open out there in the outfield with a chain link fence, too. Ugh. And so the wind just howled in there, and Willie contends that he lost 100 home runs. And over the 11 years that they played at Candle, or 12 seasons he played at Candlestick, that it was open. And I would agree with that. And I think Mays, had the better chance of passing Ruth before Aaron did. Anyway, here is Willie at 291, 20 homers and 47 RBI. There's a ground ball to Robinson, or Hodges. Flips it to Drysdale. Goodness, Brooklyn flashing the leather. How about that? So we've played one in game two. Gil Hodges having himself an inning. That was the second great play of the inning. After one, Brooklyn 2, New York nothing. So Robinson, Ferrillo, and Rube Walker to face Hearn here in the second. Jackie at 291, 9 homers, and 23 RBI. And it's popped up. Castleman into foul territory, third base side, and he is going to run out of Manhattan to make that play. So the count is 0-2. Again, it has rained all the way through this doubleheader. No wind, and it's hot and sticky. 88 degrees. How you doing, John? Yep, definitely contributing to the chase of Ruth. Todd says there's a funny thing on YouTube where Steve Sparks talks about meeting Bob Feller at a minor league game. Feller asks him how old you are, and Sparks replies, I'm 27. Okay. Pitch to Robinson. There is a line drive to White, 1 out. For Carl Ferrillo, hitting .333, 8 homers and 37 RBI. Hearn winds and deals, and that's a ground ball to Spencer. Darrell throws to White for the out. 2 away. Bob Feller was an ornery person. Feller says, 27, my God, by then I had 2 no-hitters and served in the war. Rube Walker is hitting .282, by the way. It looks like a happy gentleman. 3 homers and 11 RBI. Bob Feller, true story. Pitch to Walker. Why we got a football sound there? I believe that got away from Sarney on strike 3, and Walker. Oh, no. A ground ball in front of the mound, and Castleman and Hearn collide. How about that? Castleman keeps it, throws to first. That was the collision, and Outwell retired the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. An inning and a half down. 2-0 Brooklyn. You might want to rethink this. Yeah. Rube Walker, the old Mets pitching coach. Bill White at 251, 9 homers and 35 RBI. So, by the early 80s, I was doing the baseball card thing as a kid, and they were trying to teach me that they were worth something and stop eating them. And so I bought at a bookstore the baseball card price guide for that particular year. And what an education that was, to go through and look at all the old designs and see what everything was and all that. And tucked in the middle there of that book was an ad from Bob Feller for personal. He put his own ad in so you could call him for personal appearances. True story. Pitch to White. There is a ground ball to Robinson. Jackie's got it over to Hodges, and White's retired. So 1 out for Sarney, hitting .265, 3 homers and 16 RBI. That is into center field. That will be caught. No, that dropped in front of Snyder. Sarney has the first hit for the Giants. And here's Bob Lennon. Bob at 148. But he does have a double. Lennon into right center field for a base hit. Snyder will pick it up. First and second. And 1 out for Foss Castleman, who is still shaking off that where he collided with Jim Hearn a moment ago. Foss at 156, 6 homers and 19 RBI. Oh, isn't that cool? Triple G's first autograph he ever got was Feller's. A gift from a friend of the family. That's cool. My first autograph was Don Maynard. Pitch to Castleman. That is up the middle. Drysdale trying to knock it down, couldn't. Pee-wee to Robinson for one. Jackie throws to Hodges, double play. Pee-wee still got it. 6-4-3 on the DP, and that will do. No runs. The Giants get 2 hits, no errors. We go to the third in game 2. Brooklyn 2, New York nothing. For Drysdale, hitting 130, a home run and 2 RBI. Hearn starts the third, and Drysdale draws the beer league walk. So nobody out. 9 batters deep for Hearn. 35 pitches, 2 innings. The home run was Gilliam's, by the way, and a walk. Speaking of baseball cards, there's an awesome site called the Cyber Card Museum, Todd B. says. Literally thousands and thousands of cards to see. And that's just the issues released in the 90s, right? Pitch to Gilliam, and he walked. Oh, you got to sign up for it, but that's cool. Somewhere in my treasure trove of stuff, I have the Topps book from 52 to whatever year that they made it. With not the backs, but the fronts of all the cards. Pee-wee Reese 0 for 1 with a run scored. So Drysdale on second, Gilliam on first. Nobody out, top the third. 2-0 Brooklyn. Pee-wee up the middle. Spencer will get there. Takes it to the bag himself for 1, but they will not turn 2. So you just got to sign up at look for Cyber Card Museum. No charge. 1 out for Duke Snyder, who is 0 for 1. Drysdale on third, Pee-wee on first. Snyder in the right field. Is that gone? Mueller. Another home run. Snyder has hit 30. What a July 4th for Duke Snyder. He now has 7 RBI in this doubleheader. And 30 home runs on the year. Oh, yeah. Paul says, love going back to the Hall of Fame and looking at the cards. So Duke Snyder, I believe, has bought Manhattan today. And it won't be for $25 in trinkets. My word, what a day for Snyder. Here's Randy Jackson. Randy 0 for 1 with an RBI. Here's a ground ball to White, and it's 5-0 Dodgers. White, another great play, but the air has been let out of the balloon here at the Polo Grounds. Gil Hodges is 0 for 1. It's grunted into a double play. I was having an autograph of Darryl Talley when I was waiting on tables in Albany, Paul says, when he came in for lunch, and I had his table. When he was done, he signed a piece of paper and asked me where the closest strip place was. You should have said it was Stewart's. You could find all the milk you wanted to there. Demos, how are you? Speaking of baseball cards, I can't believe I asked my mother for nasty tasting Suzy Q's just to get a certain card. Ho-hos were much better, but the cards were lousy. What card were you looking for, Demos? I'm not sure Tally would have appreciated going to that. I mean, ice cream is kind of cold, and that's not what you're looking for at a strip place. Pitch to Hodges is a line drive to Pursued, and Eddie is there, and that will do it. However, Duke Snyder, a 3-run homer. What a day he's had. 7 RBI in this doubleheader. 3 runs. The lone hit was Snyder's. After 2.5, it's 5-0 Brooklyn. So it'll be Spencer, Hearn, and Pursued to face Drysdale here in the third. Darryl hitting 187, 10 homers, and 31 RBI. Do you all remember when Raisin Bran had the 3D baseball? Yes, I do. The only one you ever got was Tom Seaver. There are worse things to get. Yep, Raisin Bran, Frosted Flakes. Didn't get that many, but those were cool. The Hostess cards were as awesome as the Kellogg's cards. Jeremiah sees the Planet of the Apes cards on there. I had Happy Days cards and Battle of Britain cards, yep. The 3D ones were cute. Pitch to Spencer. Darryl hits this one up the middle for a base hit. So, bubblegum. We've all bought the bubblegum cards. Jim Hearn will bunt here, hitting 129, 4 for 31. Infield playing back, Spencer on first. The bunt is down, but it's foul. So, I found a video, count is 0-2, about the invention of bubblegum. And the proper bubblegum, or double bubble, was invented by an engineer at Fleer. Okay? And, of course, Fleer and Donruss and Topps. Pitch to Hearn. Strikes out. First for Drysdale. 0-2 got him swinging. So 9 batters deep for Don. 2 1/3. 25 pitches. 3 hits and a strikeout. Pursuit is 0 for 1. So double bubble made for years by Fleer. However, they were overtaken in the late 40s by Bazooka, owned by Topps, and so on and so forth. And so, after a while, Topps had the exclusive rights to bubblegum cards, like in the 80s. Other companies could make cards, such as Fleer, and the early ones weren't good. But the inventors of bubblegum could not put bubblegum with their cards. That was Topps's exclusive thing, which is why you got stickers with Fleer and puzzle pieces with Donruss. True story. Pitch to Pursuit is 0 for 1. That is a ground ball to Reese. This might be 2. Nope, they're going to go to first. Self. Hodges is there, and Pursuit is retired. Spencer moves on to second, 2 out from Mueller, who's 0 for 1. Suzuki's were not as good as the first Fleer set back in the early 80s. Those 81s, yeah, Slurpee coins. I remember those too. Remember the football stamps given out at Sunoco in the early 70s. Yep. Plus the book. They did the hockey stickers too. So here's Mueller. There is a ground ball right back to Drysdale. Throws to Hodges, and that will retire the side. The Giants threaten but do not score. We've played 3 in game 2. Dodgers 5, Giants nothing. So Robinson, Ferrillo, and Walker to face Hearn here in the 4th. When both Topps and Fleer did the stickers and the stamps in 81, Topps did the stickers, but Fleer had the stamps, and he had to lick those. Robinson 0 for 1. There is a fly ball to left field. Back goes Lennon, and Robinson is homered. Would you believe that? Jackie Robinson trots around the bases. He hits his 10th home run. That's the second one of the doubleheader. It is 6-0 Brooklyn. Here it is again. Jackie just crushed that. Wheaties and the Michael Jordan posters. Owned those as well, Todd says. My wife says there'll be more worthless information taking up space in your brain. Hey, we provide a public service, Triple G. I knew Double Bubble was the first of the bubble gums, but I didn't realize it was owned by Fleer. You can still buy Double Bubble. It's not made by Fleer anymore. Carl Ferrillo is 0 for 1. 6-0 Dodgers. And that's a rip pass Pursuit into left field. Lennon will pick it up. Yeah, Todd misses the, the Wheaties box win. Caitlyn Jenner was Bruce. And Todd misses the players in the Wheaties and the Cornflakes boxes. Rube Walker is 0 for 1. Ferrillo on first. Turn struggling here in the fourth. Ground ball is pursued. Will they get two here? No. They'd only try to get Walker at first, and White is there, and that's what they do. Ferrillo moves on to second. For Don Drysdale, 1 out. He walked and scored his first time up. Pitch to Drysdale. Struck him out. Hearn says finally 2 out in the fourth. Pitch number 64 was a full count breaking ball. Got him looking. Jim Gilliam homered to start the ball game. He's 1 for 1. He's also walked. I'm sure there's a joke in Demo's comment somewhere. Dave must have seen the picture of Howard Cosell standing between O.J. Simpson and Bruce Jenner. And I can't repeat what the meme said, but there is some stuff that I would like to tell you. Pitch to Gilliam. And Gilliam draws the walk. No, Todd Demos doesn't tell bad puns. Here's Pee Wee Reese. He has scored twice. He is 0 for 2 today in this one, but managed to have reached and scored twice. Who does bad puns? Do, 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 do. We do bad puns. Do, 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 do. Ferrillo on second. Gilliam on first. 2 out. Pitch to Pee Wee Reese is a ground ball down to third. Castleman goes to Spencer for the easy out, and the Dodgers are retired. They're going to run on 2 hits and no errors. After 3.5, 6-0 Brooklyn. Not I, spelled E-Y-E. Okay, yes, now Todd, that's better. Intellectually intelligent, funny puns. Yes, Todd, exactly. Here are the standings if you joined us late. The Dodger lead over Milwaukee is 7. And if we get extra innings out of this, I'm going to eat my hat. Cleveland by 1.5 games over the White Sox, 2 over the Red Sox, 3 over Detroit. The Yankees on this 4th of July are still 2 under 500. And Kansas City is still looking for Lenny Dawson. Willie Mays is 0 for 1 in Game 2. Homered in Game 1. Ground ball to first. Hodges flips it over to Drysdale, 1 out. For Bill White, who's 0 for 1. And there is another ground ball to Hodges. He should be able to take it himself. So the NL is this. You know what, Scotty? I don't never say never, because I thought the Braves were going to run away with this. But if they win this one, which they're up 6-0 in the 4th inning, they are a 50-game winner in the first in game number 70. Bill Sarney has singled. He's 1 for 1. Drysdale deals, and Sarney walks. I think the answer is I'd feel pretty confident if I were that the World Series will be going through Brooklyn. Although they aren't playing 800 ball forever. And I still think Milwaukee is better on paper. Bob Lennon has a single. He's 1 for 1 in this one. Got him. So Drysdale is fan 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Giants have left on 3 here through 4. And in Game 2, it is 6-0 Brooklyn. Public service announcement for ID Jester. The Strat computer does have room for 10-run innings in the box score. I don't understand. Why does that happen? Why can't we see that? I didn't realize that ID and Jerry Seinfeld were the same person. Duke Snider, Mr. Howard, has driven in 7 in this doubleheader. He has 2 home runs. He's now hit 30. 2 for 2 in this one. And is driven in game number 70 for Brooklyn now, 76 on the year. Pitch to Snider. That is a base hit. That baseball has got to be looking like a watermelon right now for Snider. That's his third hit in Game 2. And the sixth hit overall for Brooklyn. Randy Jackson 0 for 2 with an RBI. That is into right center field. Mays will cut it off, and Snyder will hold on second with a double. With a single. By Jackson. Because I'm tired. Gil Hodges is 0 for 2. He is grounded into a double play. Sarney and Hearn have a word. Jim Hearn deals. Hodges into left field. Lennon will come in and make the catch. Snyder goes back. Lennon throws it to Castleman for the out. So, in all seriousness, Brooklyn is sitting pretty. Jackie Robinson has homered in both ends of this doubleheader. He now has 10, and I gotta check my phone. There is a message to my phone. Did I miss our first Thursday visit of the month? Hold on 1 second. Thought that was next week. Think you're fine. Period. One second. I had to respond back to a couple messages. How about that? Anyway, one out. Hold on one more second. Oh. Okay. 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 I never have anything going on here. She hopes to have that to you by tomorrow. All right, let's continue now. 6-0, top of the fifth, one out. Pitch to Robinson. Struck him out. Hearn got him. 2 out for Furillo, who is 1 for 2 with a single. Snyder on second, Jackson on first. 6-0 Brooklyn. Furillo up the middle, that's a base hit. Snyder will round third. Mays will try to throw home. Snyder is living the life of Riley at 7-0 Brooklyn. So Furillo an RBI single. Jackson on second, Furillo on first, and for Rubel Walker, who is 0 for 2. Oh, what did I miss? Popular fellow working on his contract extension. The pitch clock has expired. 7-0 Brooklyn. Pitch to Walker is a fly ball right field. They'll drop in front of Mueller. Jackson around third. Mueller will try to throw home. Jackson is safe, and it's 8-0 Brooklyn. For Drysdale, who is 0 for 1. He has walked, struck out, and scored. Emily isn't. No, she's not doing a good job in screening phone calls. Not taking complaints about Gardner on the T2D hotline. I don't think so. Pitch to Drysdale. Struck him out, and we're halfway home. We're going to forego the ad. I'm actually supposed to be done by 1:30. We're not going to do that. So we'll pause it about 15 minutes for me to go to the bathroom so the wife could go to work. So you got one more break coming up, and you'll see the ad then. After halfway home in Game 2, it's Brooklyn a lot, New York nothing. By the way, the rain has stopped. Now 91 degrees, insufferably humid in New York. Foss Castleman is 0 for 1. He's grounded into a double play. We will pinch hit for Hearn. Castleman into right field for Rillo. Makes the catch, 1 out. Darrell Spencer 1 for 1. He singled. The big news, Duke Snyder has hit a homer. Is now driven in 3 today and 7 overall. Ground ball to third. Jackson has it. Over to Hodges. And there's 2 out. Real life does take priority once in a while. The cat does need to do a better job in screening my phone calls. Apparently, I now have 3 extended car warranties. Jim Hearn. Well, not bad. Let's see. Who can hit a Drysdale? Hank Thompson. Hitting .500 as a pinch hitter with an RBI. Overall, 291, 4 homers, and 12 RBI. Base hit, right center field. Ferrillo will pick it up. Goes all the way to the wall, and Thompson has a pinch hit double. So the 4th hit off of Drysdale. Here's Pursued. Opening 18 for Don. 62 pitches, 4 2/3, 4 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Don't accidentally hit the zoom button to the top of the night. I won't. Emily says my calls are always a catastrophe. Yes, they are. Pitch to Pursued. Runner on second. Ground ball to Drysdale. Third base side. Throws to Hodges for the out. And that will do. We need a new pitcher. No runs, a hit for the Giants. They've left on 4. We go to the 6th. It's 8-0 Brooklyn. We need American Dream Dusty Rhodes to pinch it at some point. Let's see. It'll be Steve Ridzik. Because we could go with Antonelli. We used Grissom and Gomez and Wilhelm in the opener. So Ridzik is in 1-0 with a 6.18 ERA. That check clear yet, Scotty? His 17th appearance. Steve is 27, throws a fastball at 92 and a fly ball pitcher. Last pitched on the 1st in a 14-2 laugher to Pittsburgh that Steve threw enough gasoline on it that Union 76 warned him about pollution. 75 pitches, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Overall for Ridzik, 27 2/3, 33 hits, 19 runs, all earned. 2 homers. He's walked 18. That's never good. And struck out 13. So Gilliam, who has walked twice and homered in this one, leads off the 6th. Struck him out. 2-2 right down Broadway or on the inside edge. 1 out for Pee Wee. Pee Wee is 0 for 3, but he's reached twice and scored. 6.18 ERA. That is a fly ball pitcher indeed. However, he's only given up 2 homers in 28 innings. Ground ball to short, pursued over to White, And wouldn't you know, the kid with a 17,000 ERA has his first 2 men retired. However, here is Duke Snider. He has singled twice, homered. Now has driven in 76, and his 2 runs today give him 63 on the year. Pitch to Snider, and Snider walks. We talked about his OPS in the first game. I mean, this Barry Bonds would blush at those numbers. Randy Jackson is 1 for 3. He has singled, driven in a run, and scored. No, I wasn't making... Do you see where the Falcons got a $250,000 fine for those prank calls to that poor Sanders kid? I mean, that just... Well, it's not funny. I mean, there's just nothing funny about that. The kid should pay for that. Pitch to Jackson. Ground ball past Spencer into right field as the Dodgers, as Rigney will tell Mueller to throw it. Snider cruising into third. The throw goes into third, and Snider hits the dirt. In fact, I think it got away as Jackson goes to second. So that is indeed an error as Mueller threw it away, and Snider should make this a 9-0 game. Good luck coming back from that, New York. Here's Hodges, 0 for 3. He is grounded into a double play. Scotty says he was trying to send this week's check to get RJL's replay straightened out. Fall Classic 83 World Series. Yep. Kid will be grounded for 2 lifetimes. That, I mean, there's just, you know, we're poking fun at it, but for Sanders, who just got a, you know, gallon-sized container of humble pie with that draft, I mean, you just don't mess with people like that. Pitch to Hodges. Gill into left field. Lennon will turn and watch that hit the wall. Jackson's going to score with ease. Hodges is into second with a double, and the Dodgers are clearing out the Polo Grounds. It's now 10-0 with 2 out here in the 6th. Here's hoping Ron doesn't call Johnny Mansell to coach the QBs. No. No, I think the concern was Sanders, Andrew, as he says, I think Sanders dropped because coaches feel if the kid didn't perform well, that they'd be fired and replaced by his dad. I'm kind of wondering if that kid is coachable. That would be my concern, along with everything, you know, the hype show that goes with his dad. You know, is that kid coachable? Pitch to Jackie Robinson, gets hit. And that will make things a bit more tense around here as you don't hit a legend. Here's Ferrillo, who can make them pay even more. 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. So Ridzik got through the first 2 batters and then spit the bit. Yeah, only Dad, that's my concern, is only Dad can coach him. Not saying this is going to happen, but what if Sanders turns out to be the chosen one for the... Fine. Absolutely. I mean, if he's a real deal, here's the real deal. I mean, if you remember, Danny Marino slipped down to the end of the first round, and Miami stole him. Pitch to Ferrillo is a fly ball to left. Lennon will corral that, and that will do. We played 5.5, 2 runs, 2 hits, and an error. And now it's Brooklyn 10, New York nothing. So Mueller, Mays, and White to face Drysdale here in the 6th. Don is 0 for 2. You have to do it by hand demos, but we've done it. And I believe they actually did well. Yeah, Andy Pafko. There you go. It was That's right. So it can be done. It is a pain to do, and I mean, the outcome box pretty much pooped the bed because it just doesn't account for that. Pitch to Mueller. There is a ground ball to Robinson. Jackie throws to first for the out. If a position player pitched in real life, they'll be listed as a possible pitcher. When we did 88 last year, Concepcion got thrown into a game at some point, and so he was listed as an option all year. I don't think I used him as a player to pitch, but yes, it can be done. Willie Mays is 0 for 2. and draws the walk. Jim Brown says, I suspect it'll be another Kaepernick good first year until the league figures him out, then a dud. Probably. That's about my thinking. And Brady was a 6th-round pick, too, or something like that. Bill White 0 for 2. Struck him out. That's 3 for Drysdale. Here's Bill Sarney. He has singled and walked. There is a ground ball to Robinson, and that will retire the side. So we're going to try to get this done as fast as possible. We have played 6. Giants, no runs, no hits, no errors. They've left on 5, and the Dodgers lead at 10-0. So Rube Walker 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. Fly ball, left center field. Mays, 1 out. For Drysdale, who is 0 for 2, he has walked and scored. Every Dodger has reached base. That's pretty good. Popped up. Left side, Lennon. Makes the catch. Makes a sliding catch, 2 out. Yeah, just what the Browns need is more drama. He's got to beat out the other 4. You know, if he can do that in that environment without Dion, then good for him. You know, you don't root against people. Jim Gilliam led off this game with a home run. He's 1 for 2. He's walked twice and struck out once. And he walks again. But if his kid is as good as he is hyped to be by certain people, he's got to show it at a level. We talked about this the other day. Pee Wee Reese is 0 for 2, or 0 for 4 rather, and scored twice. You take the best college team and you put them up against the worst NFL team, and that NFL team is going to beat them by 35 or 40. The NFL is so different from college. Pitch to Pee Wee is a base hit right center field. Mueller will pick it up. Gilliam is into third, and the Dodgers just keep on pounding the drum. Let's hope that Dion doesn't run on the field like Halliburton's dad. Oh, yeah. And, boy, didn't year 1 of the Bronny James project go well in Los Angeles? They're now watching the playoffs like the rest of us. Duke Snider is 3 for 3 in this one. He has taken to Scotty Howard's just close your eyes and swing philosophy. He has hit a home run in this one. He hit a home run in game 1. And he now has 7 RBIs on the day. He now has driven in 76. Got a chance for more here. Pitch to Snider. Fly ball, right center. That should score Gilliam. Mays will have it, and it's stretch time, so it won't matter. Stretch time, 10-0 Brooklyn. Elway in the golf cart? I missed that one. We're going to take a break in a sec so Uncle Ron can let his wife go to work. Bob Lennon 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. 10-12-0 for the Dodgers. Base hit. That goes into left center field. Snider throws it back in. It sounds like I hadn't heard that one. Dodgers have left on 8. Giants, no runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And they have left on 5. Castleman is 0 for 2. That is a ground ball to Robinson. Jackie DeReese for 1, and Hodges for 2. You wonder why the Dodgers are about to become a 50-win team? They've made the Giants look silly in this one. Darrell Spencer 1 for 2. He has singled. He crashed a golf cart, and his friend was... Oh, no, I didn't see that. How much was he drinking? That's terrible. Pitch to Spencer. Here's a ground ball to Pee Wee. Throws it to Hodges, and we are through 7. After 7, no runs, 1 hit, and the Giants have only left on 5. It's Brooklyn 10, the Giants nothing. So Riddick will go one more. Randy Jackson, Gil Hodges, and Jackie Robinson to bat here in the 8th. Randy 2 for 4 in game 2. Has singled twice, driven in a run, and scored twice. That is a ground ball to short. Pursued over to White. 1 out, maybe. Yes. Now, 93 here. You imagine you've been in those wool uniforms for the better part of 5 hours. There is not a breath of wind. The rain stopped about 2 hours ago. You're in the field, and you're getting pounded 10-0. Gil Hodges 1 for 4, a double, an RBI, and he's grinded into a double play. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Mueller to the track, off the wall, and that's extra bases for Hodges, his 24th double of the year, and his second in game 2. For Jackie Robinson, who is 1 for 3, hit a solo homer. I think he homered in the first game, too. Now has 10 on the season with 24 RBI. Sarney reminds Riddick that he's tired. He's caught both ends of this. Right or left center, Mays makes the catch. So Hodges will hold. 2 out for Furillo. Carl 2 for 4 with an RBI. So Riddick hasn't helped his ERA. It's gone up to 6.23. Right field, Mueller will grab it, and the Dodgers put up another bagel. No runs, a hit. They've left on 9 after 7.5. Brooklyn 10, New York nothing. And is that Dusty Rhodes music I hear? Yes, it's Duke Ellington. Dusty Rhodes is a pinch hitter, hitting 143 in RBI and a WWE Tag Team Championship, I'm sure. Overall at 154, 3 homers, 4 triples, and 9 RBI. Oh, Scotty's staying with the Goats for 2 weeks. I love it when you stay with the Goats. They are classic. I don't think we've had a gimmick get as much mileage as stuffing goats into ballparks. Pitch to Rhodes. There is a ground ball to Hodges. Gil takes it for the out. 1 away for Eddie, who is 0 for 3. Struck him out. Drysdale, oh, by the way, is throwing a shutout. He is 0 for 3, or his fan 4, only allowed to 5 hits and 7 2/3. Don Mueller is 0 for 3. Oh, so 28 batters for Drysdale, 7 2/3, 5 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. That is a base hit left center field. Gilliam will pick it up. So, this is our 19th inning of baseball today. Here's Willie Mays. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. In game 1, it was 5-0 Dodgers, and then Newcomb just kind of lost the script in the 8th. He gave up a homer to Mays. He gave up a homer to Jackie Brandt, and it was Foss Castleman who hit the tying home run, but the Dodgers won it in 11. Pitch to Mays. Left center field. Back goes Snyder. Makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 9th. It's Brooklyn 10, New York nothing. It'll be Windy McCall, the lefty. Windy is 31, looks about 51, throws a fastball at 84. He'll make a start in a couple weeks. 1-1 on the replay with a 1.90 ERA. making his 18th start. He pitched in this series 2 days ago against Brooklyn in that 4-3 loss. Struck out a batter, only batter he faced. He pitched through 6 pitches in the process. 23 2/3, 15 hits, 9 runs, 5 earned, 5 home runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 10. Rube Walker, see what they do with Drysdale, although I imagine throwing a shutout, they'll keep him in, and Junior Gilliam. Rube, 1 for 4. He has singled and driven in a run, his 12th. And he'll get pinch hit for. It'll be Gino Samoli. Gino pinch ran in game 1. 143 as a pinch hitter, 125 overall, and 2 RBI. Base hit left field. All right, I got to take a quick break, and then we'll finish up the rest of this nail-biting game right after this. Can't believe I got 2 hours and 7 minutes of a 4th of July doubleheader and didn't mention the birthday girl, the wifey poo, who would have been minus 17 on July 4th, 1956. But it is indeed her birthday. July 4th, that is. Don Drysdale is 0 for 3. Make sure that... Well... Put the right scene up, Ron. There we go. Drysdale is 0 for 3 in this one. McCall deal. Samoli on first. He dropped that one down. Why you're bunting with a 13,000 run lead, I don't know, but he does, and it works. Samoli moves to second. 1 out for Gilliam. Junior is 1 for 2. He homered to start game 2. And has struck out once and walked 3 times. So I'm sure Sarah's parents, who didn't even know each other in 1956, were pretty stunned when they realized that that was their child's birthday in 1956. Pitch to Gilliam. There is a ground ball to Spencer. Samoli on his way to third, throws to White, and Gilliam is retired. So Samoli on third. The Dodgers are up 10-0 with 2 out here in the 9th for Pee Wee Reese, who is 1 for 5 in this one. He has scored twice. And he rips this one into left, and the Dodgers are up 11-0. Ugh. My word. 15th hit for the Dodgers. Here's that man Snyder again. Duke is 3 for 4. Is homered, driven in 3, singled twice, scored 3 times, and walked. And his OPS at the moment is 1265. Pitch to Snyder, and he strikes out. He tips his hat to McCall as everyone goes back to the dugout. The Dodgers put on one more on 2 more hits and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the ninth on this stifling hot day in New York with the Dodgers leading 11-0. So White, Sarney, and Lennon to face Drysdale trying to pick up win number 7. The Giants need 11 to tie and 12 to win. We've already been at this for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Pitch to White, who's 0 for 3. Base hit left field. Well, that's how you started. So White is on with a single, and that is the Giants' 7th hit. Here's Bill Sarney. Bill 1 for 2. He is singled and walked. That is a ground ball to Robinson. What's he going to do with it? He goes to Reese for 1 and Hodges for 2. The Dodgers defense has made all the difference in this one. The Giants had double play balls and couldn't turn them. The Dodgers, that's all they've done in game 2. So 2 out, last chance saloon for Bob Lennon, who is 2 for 3 in this one. He has 2 of the 7 hits. He has singled twice and struck out. And Don Drysdale 1 out away from a shutout. Washington University starts the GNAC softball tournament today, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, against the last team to beat them 10 games ago. Available on YouTube at GNAC Sports. They are fun to watch. And I don't know what kind of gift Scotty gave them as an alumnus, but they just, whatever sport they do, they are just fantastic at it. Pitch to Lennon. There's a high fly ball, left center field, and this one's over. So the Dodgers shut out the Giants 11-0 in game 2 and have swept this doubleheader 7-5 and 11-0. And so 70 games into this 1956 replay, the Dodgers are a 50-win team. 3 hours and 7 minutes. So if you take the half hour between games, those players were in those wool jerseys for 6 hours and 47 minutes. The Dodgers, 11 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. They left on 10, and they turned 3 double plays in this one. The Giants, a 7-14 winning percentage. They're just flying. No runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors, and they fall to 28 and 41. They left on 6. And while it's easy to say that Snyder should be the MVP, he was the MVP of Game 1 for Digital Dice. Don Drysdale, at 20 years old, throws a 7-hit shutout to go 7-1, 9 innings. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, no runs there, and he actually was at his pitch limit. Jim Hearn just threw meatballs out there, 5 innings to fall to 3-8, 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned to 3 homers. Snyder, Gilliam, and Robinson. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Ridzik, yeah, whatever. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out a man, and then McCall went the 9th and gave up a run. 1 run on 2 hits. The run was earned and a strikeout. Will there be post-game fireworks at the Polo Grounds? Yes. As Darth Vader would say, impressive. Most impressive. The rest of this 4th of July in baseball, as the Dodger lead is now 7.5. Everybody playing 2 today. And so we'll wait for it to all populate. Hey, the Yankees won a ball game. All right, we can start. Philadelphia swept the Pirates 5-2 in the opener. As soon as I get that screen back. Harvey Haddix goes to 5-5. Elroy Face falls to 4-4. Lapata 2 for 4, hits his 18th and drives in 4. Nightcap was 7-5. Philadelphia. Stu Miller 3-3. Munger falls to 2-5. Blaylock 2 for 4, a triple and a stolen base. The Yankees sweep the Red Sox in a doubleheader. They win the first one 7-2. Kux goes to 8-6. Nixon falls to 4-3. I guess he wasn't the one. Billy Martin 3 for 4, 2 RBI and a triple. In the nightcap, Don Larson outlasts Bill Parnell 10-9. Larson at 5-4. Parnell at 2-2. Yogi Berra 2 for 5, hits his 17th and drives in 2. Tigers sweep Cleveland. So Chicago is in first place. How about that? Tigers winning opener 2-1. Paul Foytak, 9 innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits. He beats Herb Score. See, not every Herb Score start is mandated here on Retro Sports Network. Vic Wertz in the loss, 1 for 4, hit with his 23rd homer. In the nightcap, Moss beats Early Wynn 6-4. Moss goes to 3-4. Wynn falls to 10-5, and Boone 1 for 2, hits his 14th and walks twice. The Redlegs sweep the Cubs. I'm trying to see what I got to read for highlights here. Fowler wins the first game 4-1 over Bob Rush. Fowler 7-5, Rush 7-7. Wally Post 3 for 3, 2 RBI and a double. The nightcap went 13. Cincinnati beats them 6-5. Acker 2-0. Hughes falls to 1-1. Morin 2 for 5, hits his 7th. Washington and Baltimore split a doubleheader. Washington makes 4 errors in one of the games. Baltimore, I think, got 16 hits in the first game. Washington wins the first one 13-9. Grob, G-R-O-B, goes to 3-1. Brown falls to 2-3. Yost 3 for 4, hits his 7th, drives in 3. In the nightcap, the Orioles win 5-1. Johnson 4-2. Griggs falls to 4-6. George Kell hits his 3rd, 1 for 3, and a walk. Milwaukee keeps pace with Brooklyn. They sweep a doubleheader. Phillips got the win in 11 in the first, 6-5. Collum takes the loss. Eddie Matthews 3 for 5, hits his 19th and drives in 2. Bob Buell throws a 3-hitter, but the Cardinals got a run anyway, 7-1. One of those, no, that was the day before. Buell 8-4. Lindy McDaniel falls to 1-4. As I'm getting some water, and you want some, you're going to show me something. So you want some oat milk creamer. Okay. Okay, and Matthews hits another. So Eddie had a pretty good game, 2 for 3 in the nightcap with 2 RBI. Last but not least, the White Sox sweep the A's 6-3 in Game 1. Billy Pierce 9-5. Mahan falls to 1-1. Finnegan 3 for 4 with a double. And in the nightcap, they win 6-4. Jerry Staley 6-0. Kellner falls to 3-2. Power 2 for 5, hits a 6th and drives in 2. We're with you next Monday night. Yeah, the AL is great, and that was dandy pitching performances all the way around. So Monday night at 8-ish Eastern, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Whitey Ford and Bob Porterfield. So that will get you caught up. All right, we're done. 2 out, all sweeps, except for one. There's some really... Parity's not a great thing except for the American League. The Yankees, by the way, are at 500 at 37-37. So that'll do. Thanks for watching the last 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you the next time. So long, everybody.